What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Wake up with me. It's your man, Trayvon Pratt with AIM, always improving the mind. Man, I'm excited this morning. I'm up, I'm bright and ready to deliver because we're going to talk about something powerful today. We are going to talk about the one thing that may be blocking your blessing. Mm, this may be the one thing that is blocking your blessing, dog. That is stopping you from achieving and seeing into fruition all that you are working towards, all that you are trying for. Okay, so we're not on Instagram this morning. Instagram, when I tell y'all Instagram has been funny, and it's funny how connected I am to Instagram. Like Instagram, when I think of social media, I automatically think of Instagram, and we're not gonna stay here. But everything that I try with Instagram, I get pushed back, it gets canceled, it gets terminated, it gets changed, it gets low reception, it gets low push. I might as well just stick to YouTube and TikTok and Facebook. So either way, nothing's going to stop this message because this is a powerful one. Okay. The one thing that may be stopping you or blocking your blessing is your belief. You feel unworthy. You cannot manifest what you feel unworthy of. That's not how this thing works. Okay? Whatever it is at your core that you believe, that's that's where the spiritual connection is. That's where you say the universe, that's where God is reciprocating. That's where the actual work is happening. That's where the attraction is happening. Y'all heard of the law of attraction. Whatever you think of, you attract. Whatever you work towards, you attract. Whatever you focus on, you attract. It's at a base, a core level. So you can think like, oh, I'm gonna be a millionaire. But if you believe that ain't gonna never happen, then that's what's working. That's your conflict right there. Okay. So we're gonna talk about it today, where how feeling unworthy can block everything you've been praying for. Again, feeling unworthy can block everything you've been praying for. It's not that the blessing is not for you. It's that you might not believe it's for you yet. One of the falsehoods, one of the phrases out there that has led me into this disbelief is that it takes long or it must be hard. Anything worked hard towards is worth having. And it is. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be long for you to get the result that you want. What takes the longest is learning. You're learning the skill, you're learning the requirements, you're learning the audience, right? Your customers, the clientele, who will buy. If you're being an entrepreneur, you're trying to sell something, you're learning where this clientele is. You're learning yourself as you go, what it is that you actually want. You're learning, and that's what takes the time, and that's why we're here. We're always improving the mind. You have to be willing to learn. That's what takes the longest, is being open-minded, actually learning. This doesn't have to be a long process though, if we're actually open-minded. Sometimes you get hit over the head repeatedly about what it is that you're supposed to learn until you learn it. You're gonna keep on going through the same problems. Look at your relationships. You keep having the same fallouts, different relationships, different people, same result. Something that you haven't learned. There's a pattern. There's something that you keep doing or entertaining or allowing to keep getting the same result. You haven't learned yet. And a lot of us just sum it up as that's just what it is. No, you just haven't learned. You haven't opened your eyes or your mind to accept something different. So, at your core, you believe that's what it is. So, you keep getting it. You keep doing the same thing to keep getting it. Okay. So, mm, let's go into understanding unworthiness. And y'all give me just a quick second. Give me a quick second because I at least my Instagram followers at least should be able to see that I am live. So let me take this and put this out there. I'm taking a brief pause on my live this morning to tell Instagram that we are live right now on YouTube. Go to the YouTube and chime in on this powerful topic for this Mindset Monday right now. Because they act like they don't want to push this out. So we're taking a brief pause before we go dive deep to let other people know because and if you're here, share this. Make no sense that Instagram being funny. Look, it don't even want to post. Being funny. Anyhow. Because it don't even want to post, y'all. Instagram has been funny. But see, that's why I'm talking about like you will come across obstacles, things that try to stunt or block your belief. You will come across obstacles. I got strong Wi-Fi. It ain't posted yet. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh man, that is crazy. All right. Look at it. Sorry for the delay, guys. Sorry for the pause. Boom. All right, we are back. Mm, but that's the point. We live, man. And it's a live action of the happenings, right? So let's do it. Understanding unworthiness. Mm, right. root of unworthiness starts early. And this is the reason why anytime you do any self development, it goes back. And I'm one, and you should become one like this, who likes to go to the source. Let's get to the root of things. What's the root cause? The main thing, the starting point. Let's go there. So, yes, that's going to go back to childhood because whatever from childhood to now has been a repeated has been a repeated experience is what you're going to believe. So the root of unworthiness often starts early, like repeated rejection or like a negative sense of comparison, criticism, neglect. I've endured all of those. I think we all have. But I've endured them enough to be aware of those things and intentionally change those things and working on those things. So the root of unworthiness usually starts early, childhood on up. You know what I'm saying? And what's repeated is what you will believe. My guy Utley says the mind is the victim to the monster of repetition. We learn through repetition, and whatever's repeated, we believe it to be true. So after enough times experiencing or hearing something, that's what we believe. That's why people in impoverished areas think in impoverished ways, right? They don't think towards financial freedom. They ain't even gonna say because it doesn't take millions. This is this thing. It doesn't take millions to be financially free. Like a lot of your problems can be solved with four figures, five figures. It don't have to be six, right? But we don't know that because of the limited, the repeated comparison of things. Like, what do you believe? Okay, so now understanding unworthiness. The discussion. If you're just joining in, first of all, shout out to everybody that comes to play with us, but we still reaching the audience. Uh, the discussion is the one thing that may be blocking your blessings is you cannot manifest what you feel unworthy of. It's your belief. What do you believe? At the core, what do you believe? That's what's going to be brought into fruition. And now we're talking about understanding unworthiness. And that's heavy. Okay. It has behind perfectionism, right? Like, I have to earn love. No, you don't. Love is given. Trust is earned, but love is given. If you have to earn love, that means you ain't gonna love yourself. Trust me, I've been here. I do this now. Like I'm not worthy of X until I do Y. You know, like I can't blank until I blank. Right? I can't show myself love until I've completed or I've achieved or I'm at a certain level or I made a certain amount. That's that's unworthiness. You're training yourself that you're and programming your mind that you are now unworthy as you are. That's not where we focus on improvement. You have to love yourself and learn yourself as you develop yourself. Okay? So it has behind perfectionism. I have to earn love, right? And over giving. I tell my guys all the time because I've I've been one who have over given and stretched myself so thin that I had to go to therapy behind it. Like, I'm doing so much for so many other people. What is wrong with me? Why am I feeling incomplete? Because I've neglected myself. I've neglected my responsibilities, my duties. I've neglected my household to make sure somebody else's is good. I put myself in the red to make sure somebody else is in the green, that they can go. I've made sure other people had opportunities that I couldn't even see were there for me. And it's admirable because I'm selfless, cool. But I have to do for me. I've overgiven and overstepped so much that somebody else believes that they are the ones that did whatever it is that I set them up for. And then it's like, and I'm sure those who overstep will understand this. It's like, dang, you get to that point where they now looking down on you as if you didn't do the work. So now it's like you want to be like I created you, but then it's like, nah, I ain't gonna go that route. I'm not gonna be that person. I just have to realize my flaw in over giving. Like now you're confident based on actions that you didn't even take, and so confident that you're willing to be boastful towards me, the one who put you in position. Oh, okay. I take it back. That feeling of unworthiness hides behind perfectionism and overgiving. If I do enough, I'll be enough. If I do enough, I'll be enough. That's unworthiness. Okay. Unworthiness isn't about reality. It's a belief that's been rehearsed for too long. For too long. For too long. Let's say, for instance, as a kid, you make good grades, you get, an allowance, or you get, for every A you get $10 or something like that. Excuse me. That is setting in that, it's a multiplex because it's like I want you to, as a parent, I would want my child to work hard and see reward in their work. But what if they actually struggling in this subject? Then they start to crumble. They start to think, I'm not good enough. They don't think to reach out for help. They don't think to ask. They just automatically attach that to their self-worth. Now they feel unworthy, you know? So it's a multiplex. It's things like that. Unworthiness isn't about reality. It's a belief that's been rehearsed too long. And if you had that from there, like I told y'all, it's funny how my upbringing was you don't speak when adults are speaking, you speak when spoken to. So for the brunt of my childhood, I was a silent kid, which led me to be a mumble speaker. Now I'm a big old public speaker and outspoken. If it's on my mind and I feel like it's true and necessary for the conversation, I'll say it. you know, um, but it's what do you believe? That repetition and the beautiful thing about it is you can change that. No matter how long this belief has been set in you, you can change that. You can actively change what you believe and get a different result of life. Okay? So, what's one thing? Put it in the comments. What's one thing or thought that has made you feel unworthy lately? I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I want to see it. What is one thing that has made you feel unworthy lately? Let's normalize these types of conversations. Mm, mm. Feeling good this morning. They trying to stop this. It ain't gonna happen. While y'all get those comments together, listen. Let's talk about how unworthiness blocks manifestation. Okay, let's connect the emotional self-worth to the energetic alignment. You attract on the level of what you believe. What you believe you deserve. Okay. And that even comes to in every area, like even in the financial. I had to work a lot. My beliefs towards money were shot. Like I didn't believe in credit. I thought every man that wore a suit, every salesman was a consman. Um, money is the root of all evil. I had all of those instilled in me. You know what I'm saying? From my environment. Everybody around me wished they had money, but then talked bad about money. You know what I'm saying? So my relationship with money, I really had to work on that. My belief that I'm worthy. Woo, I really had to put that into exercise. And I bring up that topic because a lot of us are in that realm where it's like, even if you do a lot, like you could be like the best worker at your job, but your paycheck doesn't reflect that. You know, um, it's multiple reasons. You're in an environment that pays you for your time, not your effort. Not that you should do less or give less effort, but understanding that, you'll realize that it's not about how much you do, it's about how long you stay to make that check look bigger. Until you're in a position that compensates you for your effort, then it's different. Um, let's clarify that. But then betting on yourself, I said, well, if I want to make more money outside of doing a job, then I have to sell something. So that whole salesman is a consman. I'm not a consman. I don't want to be a consman. So I had to learn sales. And once I started gaining financial literacy in these areas, then I realized how I could move amicably and make this the rightest of ways. Like I'm not going to sell somebody something that's not of value to them. Me personally, I don't like selling things that I don't use, I don't see as valuable myself. So I don't even want to talk about it. You know, like it's not for me, so I don't think it's for you, you know? Like things like that. I had to rewire and reprogram my belief towards money. And my guy Paul DeBerry said that, and this holds true. He's the financial coach. He says that people have a base, and that base is your belief, what you are financially worth. This is the reason why you will see people get bonuses and blow it. This is the reason why you see people win the lottery, make millions of dollars, and quickly get back to that base level. This is also the reason why people can go down and they'll work and strive to get back to their base belief of what they are worth. That base, what you believe you are worth, that's where you're going to stay. So if you want to make more money or have a higher lifestyle, you have to build your belief and increase your base. Once you increase your base, you'll see how everything, all of your efforts will attribute to getting to that base and keeping that base. You have to increase that base. And that's been profound for me because I realized like if you live in check to check, that means you haven't scrapped for any rollover. And I realized that. And I was like, I ain't doing nothing to make sure that I have money remaining from my last check. That means my belief is, check to check. My belief was in check to check. Like this check is for, and this check is for, you know. So we talking about your belief in unworthiness. When you feeling unworthy, you attract on the level of what you believe you desire. So that unworthiness, that base, you have to increase that. Okay, you have to increase that base because that. Oof. So when you feel unworthy, you unconsciously push away good things, and I see this all the time. I see people who are more than capable, who set themselves a low standard, a low bar. They say things like, I'll try. And y'all know I'm big on wording. If you try, your results will be, I tried. But if you do, your result will be, I've done. So anytime anybody comes to me and say what they're trying to do, I automatically I automatically see it as, okay, you're not actually going to do this. Why are you trying? It's not what you're trying, it's what you're doing. That's a different level of belief. If you're trying and you don't believe that you can actually do it. You don't believe it. You push away good things from this sense of unworthiness. That's love, opportunities, money, people, resources. You push away these things, situations, right? You push peace. You push away good things from this feeling of unworthiness. And everybody talking about manifesting. Manifestation is receiving energy. If your inner story says, I don't deserve it, you'll reject what's trying to get to you. You'll reject what's trying to reach you. You'll reject it. You can be saying affirmations all day, but if your core belief says, I'm not enough, then the universe will mirror that back. Whatever it is that you believe. And that's, if you ask me, I told y'all the man is the victim to the monster of repetition. If you ask me, I don't do like affirmations like I wake up and be like, I'm a millionaire. And then you check your bank account. No, you're not, right? Like I'm not an affirmations guy to where I was like, I'm gonna lie to myself repeatedly. But the mind is the monster, victim to the monster of repetition. So you can trick your mind into belief by repeating something enough times. That's where a lot of people, or like the self-development industry, has pushed affirmation, because it's possible to trick your mind into belief. But that's not what we do here at AIM. We affirm through action. We believe through repeated experience and learning from the experience to continue improving. We set the goal, we work towards it, knowing that it won't be achieved right away, but it ain't gonna take forever, and we can make this happen. That's what we do here at AIM. So if you're saying an affirmation, you can say that all day till your face turn blue. But if your core belief is the opposite, then that's what you will attract. You can't fake the front when it comes to spirit. Okay. So let's build that belief and that worthiness, right? It's five things. It's five things. Hold on. Five things. The first thing, and this is the first thing to any intentional improvement, we're always improving. The first thing is awareness. Be aware, bro. Become aware of that old story when it shows up. Catch it when it shows up. That I'm not ready, I'm not good enough, I'm not capable, I didn't ever, that's just not me, or that doesn't happen to people like me, or, like whatever the old story is that you've been telling yourself, catch it, catch it. Soon as it starts to bubble up in your throat, put that away, right? Awareness is the first step to intentional improvement. The first step to intentional improvement. Once you become aware of things that, can be improved upon, that's a beautiful thing because now you can see what it is that you can do to make certain things better, certain aspects better, right? The second thing you must do is replace. Replace these things. Speak to yourself differently. Try something different, bro. Say something different, bro. Come to yourself with love. I'm becoming the person who can hold what I asked for. I'm developing into the person that God instilled for me of what I prayed for. That's what gets to me. That would get me going. Like, that's what self development is to me. Like, wow, whatever you've prayed for, God already heard you. God has already put it in your life. You got to develop into the person that can obtain, sustain, and maintain the thing that you prayed for. I think about it like, and it's just been a funny topic that keeps on coming up. Perfect timing always seems like it's too late. Perfect timing always seems like it's too late. Had you given me, let's just say, had I met my woman, it's funny because I actually met my woman several times throughout my life before actually being able to see her. You know, like me and her have crossed paths through so many different areas of life. Like we low key grew up together and didn't even know it, right? But had we seen each other anytime sooner than where I was at that moment, I don't believe that we would be where we are now. We wouldn't have made it. We probably would never even gotten together, Like I met her when I was in a moment, I saw her and came across her when I was at a moment of I need a woman. I don't need the games. I don't need just the fun interaction of like maybe their sex. Like I don't need, and I was 17 and I was already at a point where it's like, yo, I don't need the BS. I need a woman. And I had to fine tune what a woman was to me, what type of woman I need. And sure enough, boom. It seemed coincidental, but if you know God, you know that everything happens for a reason. So there's no such thing as a coincidence. It was perfect timing. And now here we are, 17 years later, married, loving life together. Perfect timing always seems like it's too late for us. And that's because we don't know God's timing. You had to develop yourself. You had to be in a position to see what it is that you were supposed to be doing. You want, man, I tell you, the times that I said I wanted to be a millionaire, if you was to give me 1 million 10 years ago, I'd have blew it. I ain't know nothing about investing. I ain't know nothing about, you know what I mean? Like 10 years ago, sure, that base. I would have came right back to that base, bro. So you are, that's the belief. You are becoming the person, and say that to yourself. That's an affirmation that I would use. I am proud in the fact that I am becoming the person that I believe I am to be. I am becoming the one who can handle all the stuff that I pray for. I was just talking to my guys. The main people that I want to help is young men, young black men specifically. And over the last like month, the main issues I've been getting has been coming from young black men this whole year. Like that 16, like 16 to 25 age range. I'd be like, ugh. But them the main ones I want to help. I'm coming across all these problems for a reason. I'm supposed to deal with that. If I said that's who I wanted to help, God said, okay, so here's the situations that you got to experience. Build the tough skin around that. Learn the actual solutions that you can provide to them. Oh man, we talk about building belief and worthiness. Okay, so the first step is awareness. Catch that old story when it shows up. I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. Catch that. Throw that out. Replace the second step. Replace that. Speak to yourself differently. I'm becoming the person who can hold what I've asked for, what I've prayed for. The third step is action. Start taking small, aligned actions that reinforce your worth. And the thing about it is, you can take baby steps, but those baby steps turn into a big stepper. Start taking lunges, right? That's what it is when it comes to anything. I'm supposed to go this weekend. I've been asked to help start podcast, like a podcast journey, like not a seminar, but like a workshop, right? And that's the main thing that I be trying to tell people is like, you'll never have enough information to confirm that you can do whatever. Information and money is infinite. So if you are waiting to start something when you have enough information, there'll never be enough. There's always something else. It's always something new, especially with technology. Here's another app. Here's another development. Here's another social media. Here's another area of, you need to learn and dive into. Here's another thing that's going to take your attention. Here's another reason why you shouldn't, right? And money is numbers. Numbers are infinite. You'll never have enough. What you have is enough to start where you are, whatever it is that you want to do. I don't care if you want to be a hedge fund, whatever, and you only got $100. Start with $100 then. Start with 10. Shoot, just start. Once you start, you can build from there. And that'll be my main emphasis. Just start. Start with what you have. Everybody that asks me about going live or starting a podcast or starting a YouTube, everybody's like, what equipment? What equipment? What equipment? I know you see the mic, it looks nice. You see the background, I got the fold, the pictures and stuff like that. You see the setup, like what camera, what background, what you'll get to all of that, bro. I've been doing this for about 5 years now, if not more. So imagine how much I've learned for me to have the confidence that I have to just go live. Okay. So the number three to build in belief and worthiness is start taking small aligned actions that reinforce your worth. Once you start stepping, you'll walk in purpose. That was for me.
Message.
That was for me. uh, Steps that you could take, boundaries, setting boundaries, your self care, your self love, the things that you provide for yourself. Okay. Provide yourself the space, provide yourself the time, provide yourself the reward, along the way. It don't have to be at the end. Provide yourself the consistency. Keep showing up, right? The number four to building your belief and your worthiness. Number four is your environment. Surround yourself with people and spaces that reflect your value, not your doubt. Remember, I tell you that people can only value you as much as you value yourself. People can only value you as much as you value yourself. And you show people how you value yourself by what you tolerate, what you say, how you appear, what you interact with, what you react to, huh? How you react, how you think. You are showing people how to value you. So if you never speak up for yourself, or you entertain all of the drama, or you're assuaged by all of everything that somebody has to say, you're showing that you aren't to be valued. And when you start relentlessly loving yourself, you prioritize yourself. You're like, no, I can't entertain that. I can't do that. Or I don't want to hear that. Or let's change the conversation. And people might get away from you. That's okay. That means they ain't for you. That means they ain't for you. So you'll start to see your environment change, your surroundings change, because you don't want to have the same conversation. You don't want to talk to people with a poverty mindset about, financial freedom. That conversation will be short lived. Everybody that says that they want it, I'd be like, okay, let's talk about credit. Whoa, we're not talking about that. We're just talking about making money. Okay, we said financial freedom. Credit is a part of the financial industry. So let's talk about finances. Making money is just a part. It's a pivotal part. It's just a part, though. It's not even the most important part. You need to know that you can, but it's more about keeping it. What you do with the money, making it work for itself. That type of stuff leads to financial freedom. If we can't get to that, okay, then in the conversation, let me talk to somebody who is on the same wave about something that I see as a good thing, right? Your surroundings will change. Your environment will change. Change equals growth. So it's a good thing. And it's inevitable. Nothing stays the same. Change is the only constant in life, whether that's time. It's not the same time it is as it just was when I just said this. That was seconds ago. As in death, that's a change. Change is the only constant. And the fifth thing to building your belief and your worth is the spiritual connection. Remember, divine timing requires divine belief. Again, we always believe that perfect timing is too late. We got 2020 vision in hindsight, meaning when you look back, oh, it's clear what you should have done. It's clear what somebody else's intentions were. When you look back at things, but that ain't how we operate. We in the now. We in the present. So we got we got to know and believe that everything is happening for a reason, and just be open-minded to the fact that you have something to learn, and whatever you learn can be applied to get whatever the result is that is needed. Sometimes it's learning that what it is that you thought you wanted ain't actually what you wanted. Sometimes you got a deeper dive on what it is that you actually want. So, what's one affirmation or action that reminds you of your worth? Type it in the chat, man. What's one affirmation or action that reminds you of your worth? And while y'all get that together, I'll continue. Because I ain't want to, this is important to me because I don't see as much belief out here today. And shout out, I'm gonna give the flowers to shout out to Evan Carmichael because he's one of the more popular YouTubers. Um, I've actually had the opportunity to talk to him and go live with him here. Y'all check out the Power People section. You'll see where I went live with Mr. Evan Carmichael. Much love and appreciation. But he built his whole brand behind, he said, this is the world's number one largest, biggest problem is you don't believe. You don't believe you can. You don't believe that you're capable. You don't believe that this can happen. Even in your prayers, even in your prayers, when you pray to God, it's like a hope and a wish, not affirmation and knowing that God can move mountains. He can move mountains. What can he do for you? Right? Like, it's not, y'all don't actually give it to God. What y'all doing is saying, God, change my mind. You're saying, God, prove me wrong. But your belief is still that things will not. And wherever your core belief is, that's where you're talking to God. That's where God resides, is at that core. Again, you can't fake the front when it comes to spirit. So when you can put it out there, and anything you pray for, best believe he's already instilled in your life. You just got to get to it. You just got to get to it. So again, developing yourself into the person that can obtain, sustain, and maintain what it is that you pray for. Now it's time, faith without works is dead. Now it's time for you to put in the work. It ain't gonna just, even if it pops up, you're not gonna see it. because you're not ready for it. I can remember I can remember I had to in order to develop my you got to develop your own relationship with God. In order to develop my own relationship with God, I had to put some weight on him. Show me it's real, right? I was 16 working at McDonald's. And I had, I'm driving now, so got my own car. My biggest aspiration at that time was to customize my car. I had a 1998 Malibu. I wanted it to be, it was beige. I wanted it to be shiny black with neon lights coming from the bottom. I didn't care about rims and stuff. And sure enough, the day that I was like heavy, like lost in thought with that, customer pulls up to the window with a car resembling what I said I wanted. I said, man, that's cool. That's something like I wanted. And he handed me a card. You can have this. That was confirmation enough to me, right? That I could. But I still didn't. That was it. I didn't call the number. I didn't reach out or nothing because I just wanted that confirmation, apparently, that, God will provide what you say you want. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't take the opportunity because I didn't believe that this could actually happen for real, for real. You see, even within your prayers, your belief is doubt. And you saying, God, prove me wrong. So then when God does prove people wrong, that's when it's like the testimony. That's when it's like, you can't tell me God is not real. Every now and then he like roll up his sleeves like, let me show you something. But it's your belief. All right. So let's reflect and release. Say these things. Where have I been settling because I didn't feel worthy of more? Usually go to like a job or a relationship, and these things are important. Trust and believe. Your lifestyle, standards of living. Where have I been settling because I didn't feel worthy of more? What would it look like if I believed I truly deserved the things I pray for? Ooh! What would it look like? Please take time to visualize that. What would it look like if I believed I truly deserved the things I pray for? Mm, I've been having more and more dreams of the things that I'm working towards. And that's one of the ways that spirit speaks to me. So when I see these things in color and I can remember them, I'm like, oh yeah, it's actually happening. I, when I have a dream that I see in color, I'm like, I'm supposed to see that. And I remember it, I'm supposed to see that. I'm supposed to see that into fruition. That's going to happen. I've already seen it unconsciously. You know what I'm saying? Subconsciously. I've already seen it. It will happen. You feel me? So tell yourself, I am worthy of every good thing that has my name on it. I am worthy of every good thing that has my name on it. Okay? I want to thank you all for being here, and I want to remind you that your worth doesn't come from what you do, it comes from who you are. And you can instill your own beliefs, you can reprogram your mind, you can always improve any area of life. Okay. I encourage you to share this live, share this with the next person to encourage their beliefs. And this is how we're going into the week firm belief in what it is meant for you, it will happen. It doesn't have to take long. The longest part of any of this is learning, but that's the most beautiful thing. Once you learn, now you can apply, and applying the action will get the result. Only thing you're doing is learning right now. Okay? So share this and join our next live, our next session, and stay tuned for the things that we have coming up in store for you guys. Keep improving the mind, because when your mindset grows, everything else follows. All right? Much love. I want to end with a quick thing. And this is funny where I got it from. I know they got it from somewhere else, but I watch Family Guy, right? And there was an episode of Family Guy where Stewie, the baby, became an entrepreneur, and he hired Brian, the dog. It's funny. And he says to Brian, remember, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. I know you got that from somewhere else, but that's where I heard it from. Whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. So improve your belief. Believe that you can and you will. You won't say, I'm trying. You'll say, I'm doing, because you believe that it will happen. I'll end on that. Much love to you